everyone, welcome back to Sew Aldo. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I make a simple dress. The other day, I showed you how I made a dress with square neckline and it's just a simple half circle skirt bottom. Today, I'm going to make another version of it, but this time I'm going to be adding some sleeves. If you want to see my sewing process, if you want to hang out with me today in my sewing room, then keep on watching. The sewing patterns I will be using today: basic sleeves, the front and back bodices, and half circle skirt pattern. I gathered all the stuff that I needed to start sewing. I am going to set up my camera. Also going to extend the length because this pattern is actually very short. Okay, so this is how to get your own measurement. If you are making a half circle skirt, this is how you will calculate it. Measure your waistline, 26 inches. I'm going to add another inch just so it is nice and loose. I don't like it if my skirt or dresses are very snug. We're going to divide it by 3.14 and whatever the answer is going to be the waistline. Let's go ahead and draft it on the fabric. You can transfer that measurement onto a sheet of paper and you have it ready to go on hand, so whenever you feel like sewing, you don't have to calculate and measure. It's right there ready to go. So I fold the fabric in half, and this is the fold and this is the open edge. Okay, and the fabric is facing the wrong side. So there is a hem right here, so I kind of mark it. Okay, but if you don't have a hem, you want to start right there on the edge, but because I have a hem, I'm gonna start below it. Okay, so first my measurement is 8.5 and I already included the seam allowances on that. I'm going to measure 8.5. Okay, so this is my starting point. From that measurement, you're going to measure down. Going to be 30 inches, including the seam allowances. Right? And you are going to do the same thing. You're going to follow the blue line all the way to the other edge. Yeah, this fabric is so pretty. That's it. Now it's time to cut the bodice and the sleeves. Okay, here is the skirt. So you only have one piece. I already cut out all the pieces for the dress, so I cut out the fashion fabrics and the lining fabrics. Now it's time to get to sewing, my favorite part ever. nice and clean. The top is looking cute already. Going to add the skirts on the lining and on the dress already before I put it together, so I can show you that these are actually two dresses that's going to be sewn together later on at the neckline for a perfect finish, nice and tidy, neat neckline. Going to match it at the right sides of the fabric. So waistline. It's kind of hard to see what I'm doing here, but bear with me. There you go. So I am going to sew it from here to the other end. Right sides of the fabrics are facing. Okay, to the brighter side. And then match it here, just like the other. And just match it, just like what I did to the lining. Oops. And sew it at the waistline. Let's go ahead and serge all the raw edges, and let's just go crazy in the serger. I overlock all the raw edges, and now it's time to attach the skirt. So let's go ahead and do that. For the skirt, I'm not going to serge it just yet because this is a bias. Okay, so this is in a bias cut, so if I serge this, it will stretch out. I'm going to overlock the edges later once I attach it to the bodice, so that way there's no stretching. So there it is. Okay, so I'm really happy with this. It looks really nice. Perfect. The lining is a little shorter, okay? So it's just like down to my knees because I ran out of fabric. So that's just how it is. So now it's time to stitch these two together, and it's very simple. You are just going to match the right sides of the fabric at the neckline. Oh, before I put away my serger, I am going to finish the raw edge of the skirt. So now that it's attached to the bodice, it's not going to stretch anymore. So you're going to match the fabrics, right sides at the neckline, and you're just going to pin it. Alright, make sure that the seams are open when you do that. I hope that was helpful. Okay, before I proceed, I am going to put the dress on the mannequin so I can take a picture, because I like to post pictures on my Facebook account. So I'll do. Oh my gosh, it's so cute! I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Oh my gosh, it's so sweet, so sweet. Okay, wait a minute. Should I add sleeves or just leave it sleeveless? I already pinned the lining, match it at the neckline, right sides of the fabrics are facing. So I'm just going to stitch it right along the edge. Okay, so now here is the dilemma. There's a little bit of thread in there in the bobbin, and I don't want to change it. Okay, let's just test my luck today. Going to be completely my fault. Who else if I ran out of thread in the middle of this sewing? So anywho, so I set it to 1/2 inch. Okay, when you get to the corner, you're just going to take it slow. Okay, make sure you are at the 1/2 inch. Okay, that's good. Lift up the foot, turn the fabric or pivot the fabric, and continue continue on sewing, and you're gonna do the same thing when you reach this other corner. So make sure you're not stretching the neckline. Okay. We still have a little bit of thread in there. Yay! Did not run out of thread. Yes! I'll take that as a good sign. I graded the neckline already. As you can see, the corners are clipped, and so as the curve. So now the neckline is super relaxed. Now what I'm gonna do is I am going to understitch it. So what is understitching? Is you are going to be sewing the lining to the seam allowance. If you don't stitch it, look, it's going to pop out like that. It's gonna roll up. So you want to make sure that you stitch it down to itself. You know, you are going to stitch the lining to the seam allowance, and you're going to sew along the edge like about 1/8 of an inch. Actually, I'm going to iron it just because I'm being responsible today. This sewing video is a little different than my usual. I don't normally chit chat like this, but I thought I am going to be a little more interactive, I guess. Okay, so I understitch the lining. As you can see, it doesn't roll up anymore. It is nice and secure inside, and it gave me a nice crisp neckline. If you haven't been adding lining to your dress, I think it's time that you do it. As you can see, it is super easy. So there it is. I'm just going to give it a nice press so I can show it to you in all its glory. Okay, back to the floor. Press the neckline, and as you can see, it looks so pretty already. The neckline is nice and crisp. All I have to do is add the zipper and the sleeves. So I'm debating whether to put sleeves or just leave it sleeveless like this. So I guess I'm gonna have to decide later on. Let me just put the invisible zipper first. Okay, gorgeous. Let me move you over here. And yay, I have a perfect peak. Absolutely peak. Mannequin. Bring you over here. Added the zipper. Originally I was going for like puff sleeves, but then I realized I have so many puff sleeves dresses already, so I want to switch it up a bit. I am going to do a cap sleeves instead. I simply adapted a basic sleeve, which I'm going to show you in a separate video, maybe, just so I can get the full detail of it. This is cut on fold, so we will have nice thick layer of sleeves, so it will have like a nice structure to it. Going to serge the raw edge. So I am just going to do a gather stitch. Now I am going to lightly gather it. Okay, so the dress is almost done. All I have to do is finish this raw edge. I'm just going to fold it in and then stitch in the round. And I'm also going to hem the dress, and it is done. So let's go ahead and try it on. absolutely love how it turned out. The sleeves are perfect. I am so excited about it. You guys, and thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this sew with me type of video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I will see you in the next one. Bye!